All right, so I I just got back from seeing Battle LA. Got the drink to prove it here. Uh, I mean, I just got back, and well, to be honest, I didn't know what to think. A lot of people have been worried that it was just going to be another generic aliens invade movie. Some people thought it was just going to be another Independence Day. Other people, thought that it was just going to be cheesy, over the top. There was a lot of claims of how do I put this? I know professional critics kept trying to slam it as unintelligent and having no depth or anything like that. Um, I'm gonna tell you right now, this movie was awesome. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. This movie was frigging awesome. It's an alien invasion film, sure, but it's actually got a much more realistic premise. First of all, these things are actually able to cloak themselves before they land. We didn't even notice that they were there until they were pretty much right inside our atmosphere. Um, and they came down as meteors. People thought it was a meteor shower. There's just one problem. They did some imaging on the things from the Hubble Space Telescope and infrared, and they found these metallic spheres in them, and that's how they found out that this isn't just a meteor strike, and they went on alert. Um, it was interesting though. And now, but before I get into all that, let me just back up for a second. This movie is actually pretty unique because for a while it actually does a good job of just focusing on the characters that are going to be coming into play in this movie. Um, it does a great job. You get to know who all these people are, what their motivations are. There's one guy who you got the main character, the staff sergeant, who he's leaving the Marines. He's served his last tour and he doesn't want to re-up. He's got a bad op that kind of haunts him. There was a mission that went awry and some of his men were killed and he feels like it's his fault. Then you have other characters who, let's see here. There's one guy, he's due to get married in 2 weeks. So they do some focus of him and one of his buddies. Yeah, one of his buddies is actually helping him shop for his girlfriend. He finds it very disturbing that he knows all this stuff about flowers. It was an interesting exchange. Um, you have, the new guy just starting out. You've got a lieutenant fresh out of officer training who's, kind of green but kind of cocky. You got a guy, Nigerian, who's actually going through a tour in the military actually to get citizenship. You have, let's see, who else do we have here? You have, oh yeah, one of the guys is the younger brother of one of the people who died on that sergeant's last mission, and surprise, surprise, he actually winds up under his command for the time being at the beginning of the film. So but you have these characters. They're very interesting characters. They set them up. They give them, all a background, all a motivation. Um, Very ethnically diverse cast too. It's one of those things where it's like there, but they don't make a big deal out of it. You don't notice it, which was pretty cool. But it's rare to see in a lot of movies these days. They had, you know, the oh Lord, I'm having a hard time remembering who all was there. I'm still shocked from that ending. It was pretty good. But anyways, so they take the time to establish these guys, motivations, their personalities, what they have at stake, this and that. So they were on a tour duty. It was just supposed to be a little bit of a training, and then they were going to ship out overseas, and they basically get called in, say they have to go back to base because they're going to be assigned to help out with evacuating Los Angeles because these meteors are due to strike right off the coast, and it could do damage to the city too. So they want to get everyone out of there. Not to mention the potential radiation from this. So while they're at the base briefing, someone clicked on the news because they were already striking. And they were striking at less than terminal velocity. They were slowing down before impact, which was the big key that something was way off. And then, all of a sudden, these things just come out of the water and start shooting people. It was, oh my god, it was a jaw-dropping moment. It really was. I just couldn't believe it. You're expecting it, but the way they do it and the reactions look real, and wow. All in all, it's a very well put together film in that regard. The effects, they were great. Nothing, there wasn't anything that was too digitized. Sure, there's going to be a ton of digital, but it was blended so well that it just fit almost naturally in some cases. You got some, tons of action in there, a lot of suspense. Got pretty emotional in places too. But I mean, wow. Some of the kills they had in that movie got kind of brutal. I mean, there was a point where they actually fixed bayonets to their guns, jabbed them right into the things, and fired right into it. It was wow, brutal. But it had it was a great movie. It was believable the way they did it too. It wasn't just some, oh my god, these guys have death lasers and everything. They were actually firing bullets too, and rockets. So while they're very advanced, they apparently still have the same, at least, basically the same kind of weaponry we use. As for their motivation, I don't know if anyone remembers the movie Independence Day, but you remember how they explain their motivation? Somehow the president just sees through that thing's head what they're doing. Yeah, this actually gave a better explanation than that, and I don't recall anyone complaining over that motivation. What they basically are here for is resources, colonization, and they find this out via analysts, and it's because they haven't issued any demands. They made no effort whatsoever to communicate with people. They just started attacking. And by process of elimination, they figured that it must be colonization, because whenever you're going to take over a land, a country, a planet, whatever, for its resources, first thing you do is you oppress or exterminate the indigenous population, and that's exactly what they're doing. Then they start siphoning off, of all things, the water. Appears to be one of the main things that they want, which makes sense. Earth is one of the only planets that we've encountered that has liquid water anywhere near the surface, so they seem to want that. But I mean, to say that it's not properly explained is just kind of blah, stupid. But it's awesome. It's really emotional in some places. Bottom line, go see this movie, okay? Contrary to what a lot of the critics tried to say, this movie is nothing short of awesome. Really is. I mean, really, really awesome. I cannot stress that enough. This is an amazing movie. It's one of the best movies I've seen in a while. But when oh god, again though, it kind of demonstrates the problem I have with big name critics like Ebert, especially. Wow. Roger Ebert actually went so far as to not only criticize the movie for not taking a political stance and preaching some sort of political parallel with the movie, which was not their point. Apparently, if they don't get political, the movie doesn't have substance. Which this movie was actually a lot more about unity and everything, and brotherhood, and the connection they have. It's a lot bigger than any political point you could make, in my opinion. And to say it has no substance because of that is ridiculous. But the guy did take it one step further too. Ebert actually came right out and said in his review, basically, that if you disagree with him, you're an idiot. This is the level of arrogance they have now. They think they make or break a movie, and if you don't agree with me, you're an idiot. Well, based on the fact too that a very I don't want to say pro-American per se. It is just because of the fact that these are American Marines and whatnot. and it is patriotic. It's very emotional. But to say that it can't sell overseas because of that too. The movie actually did very well opening weekend overseas. Did very well. It's done pretty well here too. Um, I'll link you the box office returns down there. But wow, this movie. If you haven't seen it yet, seriously, go see it. We need more movies like this. Um, Nothing preachy, nothing over the top. In terms of moral lesson that they're trying to shove on people. It's just a good old fashioned, entertaining, emotional, action packed film. And it's really, first thing I'm going to do, the second that movie comes out, Blu ray, I own it. Okay? Um, it was that good. So, uh, basically, yeah, go see the movie. You will not be disappointed.